as a state of mind, actually. Go 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 as a state of mind, actually.
Well, hello. It's been a long time. It's been far too long, and I have missed hearing that song. It has been so long. That is terrible news we've just had. My name is Darren Paul, Nacho Tierno, the icon, the great one of the Filial Londres. We're both of the Filial Londres. The Nacho is the glue that binds us all. We are here to talk all things RCUK Club De Avellaneda. The day is the 6th of February 2023. I've decided that, it's going, episode blah of season blah. That's in the past tense. That's a bit passe. We're just going dates. We're going day, month, year. Nacho, San Lorenzo have just scored. What's going on?
Yeah, hi Darren. Nice to be back. Just unfortunately the women's team is losing to San Lorenzo. San Lorenzo scored in the first minute of the match. We Racing got an equalizer in minute 45, second half. San Lorenzo got the second one just 1 minute ago, minute 46. So a bit of a crazy goal, crazy match. Unfortunately, I'm not watching it, but it's available for free in YouTube. So there's a link. There's an Argentina channel that put all the women's league matches available. I couldn't watch it today, but I'm following on Twitter. And yeah, it looks like we are going to get no points in the first fixture.
I'm just desperately hunting down the channel. It is Deport TV.
Deportive, yeah,
I'll say that.
correct.
Sorry.
Deportive, yeah, it just finished actually. San Lorenzo 1-1.
And in the comments, so if you watch this back or if you're with us live, hello, glad to have you. The link is in the chat for that game if you want to go back or if you want to subscribe to that channel and do all that good stuff. So, Nacho, it's been a little bit of time since we have last spoken and much has changed. You've become the biggest fan of Fernando Gago Ball. I think I know. So, yeah, we've got some things that are very present to speak on, but shall we just have a very quick little wrap up on how your thoughts primarily on last season?
On last season.
Mm.
Well, I think it was a good season. Unfortunately, ended with that kind of unfortunate, I say, penalty drama. We could have won the league. Um, I think that those things happen in football, and we shouldn't be too dramatic about it. Fortunately, after that, we claimed two more trophies, probably less important than the league. Those two kind of super cups. One of these these competitions that the AFA, the Football Association, is trying to organize for a clear financial purpose. Um, but in a way, kind of
Who do we beat in both of those? So come on, let's just hear it. Let's hear it.
Boca. We beat Boca 2-1 in extra time, and then the most recent one in Abu Dhabi, it was 2-1 in 90 minutes. So we avoided extra time. So those two camps, I think, changed a little bit the flavor of the bad ending that we had. Bad ending in a way that we could have won the league if that penalty had been converted, but it wasn't the case. So overall, I think it was a good year, first year for Gao in charge. I think we played quite attractive football. I know that Gao has a few haters in social media, but if you isolate yourself from social media, which I try to do frequently, um, I think overall as a steer for a manager was good. I think thanks to him, a lot of players record certain value, and if you look at the sales in the last window, you could see the immediate effect on that. And I think overall it's quite an entertaining team to watch. I'm pleased with that. I would love to win titles, but I think entertaining it's also good. So um, a positive season despite the penalty drama in the end.
Yeah, it was a painful end to the regular season, but I completely agree with you, Nacho. It was a lot of fun. I watch sports. I watch sport. I watch football. I watch basketball. I watch wrestling. Whatever, to be entertained, to enjoy myself, to enjoy my free time. I recognise, the way of the football fan is the anguish, the pain, and there was some of that penalty miss in particular. But what a fun season! What a fun team that Gago got playing, and that's, if I'm enjoying watching the football, that's to me one of the more important things. It's nice to win, but I wouldn't rather, don't know if rather, but it's good to win. But it's great to be able to enjoy watching the team play, enjoy spending my time watching the football club that I love, which is great. And Gago's got them playing good football, and they were an enjoyable bunch of players to watch.
Yeah, I think it probably the people who doesn't like Arrow that much would claim that the team fell short in the key matches. So in the semi-final against Boca,
Oh, we have.
um, are we having connection issues?
Hey, there we go.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back. I'm
Uh,
back.
I was saying that the people who don't like Arrow that much would say that the team failed in the key matches. So the semi-final against Boca for Copa de la Liga, the elimination in the Sudamericana, the Copa Argentina against a weak opposition. And the last match of the season against River, that penalty that we missed, and the performance wasn't great. Um,
I mean, he
but
can't
again,
take
it's the
penalty.
first year as a manager, right? So what,
Yeah,
I think we need to give credit to what he did, how he improved the side, and hopefully the titles will come in the future.
I can't speak on the other criticisms of games, but that final game. Firstly, you're playing River. River kill us. River have had our card marked so badly for the past 4 or 5 seasons. We've had games where we've lost 6-0, and our best player has been our goalkeeper. Okay, so for us to play struggle against River, fine. I kind of expect that. We were one kick of a football away from getting the result we needed, winning the league. He can't take the penalty. He so Racing did basically enough. Was it great? No. Did we win? No. But it was one kick of a football away from everything. So I think that's kind of a
Yeah, yeah.
understatement.
Of course, criticism comes with the result only after the result, right? It would have been, yeah, exactly. It would have been completely different with a positive result. That's also true.
Okay. So you made allusions to it. There's been. Where's my graphic? Oh, my graphic. My graphic did not arrive. So there's been a lot of change at Racing over the off season. I've got my American head on with roster moves, but we've had a lot of incoming and outgoing players. So let's start off with the departures, and I'm just going to go through the departures. Kevin Gutierrez has gone to Defensa de Justicia for €484,000, apparently. So he was on loan at them anyway.
Yes, no, he was on loan with Justicia, so
Yeah. So they've just made it permanent. So I mean, it is a departure. He is a player who came through the youth system, and now he's gone. So, oh, did he not? Was he not youth? Was he from?
yeah, he's part of our academy. Yeah.
Ivan Maggi has gone to Güemes on loan in Primera Nacional. I don't think I've ever heard of this team, but I hope his loan spell is a success. Are you familiar with Gomez?
Yeah, Ivan. No, to be honest. But I mean, the Ivan Maggi had spell in San Martin de Tucumán at the second part of the year last season. He didn't do well, so I'm not surprised that he's trying another team to see if he can get some minutes and um, make some impact over there.
Now, it's not a new one, but it was on the list of Transfermarkt. So Thomas Chankalai remains at Al Wasl in UAE on loan. So for people like me who enjoy watching Thomas Chankalai play, this is terrible news still, but never mind.
He
Now-
should be returning in June, July because they are not going to make the deal permanent.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you reckon he'd stay, or do you think he may go elsewhere?
I reckon he might stay
Oh.
unless there's an offer there, like an interesting offer, and I doubt there's going to be an interesting one.
As a
I think we need to.
Chankalai enjoyer, this is good.
Yeah, I think he just had just a collection of bad decisions. I think 2 red cards the first part of the year, and that forced a little bit his exit. And I think an opportunity from a team managed by Pizzi appeared at the right moment at the right time for him. So it was, I guess, a good exit for him to calm down all the critics, and he was being on the spot too much probably. I think people were a little bit unfair with him. I'm not a big fan of him, but I think a couple of red cards could happen to everyone. Apparently, he was not having a great time outside the pitch either, so probably the right decision.
Here's another one where it's of no real consequence except for the 1.7 million euros. But Benjamin Garay going to KS Samara in Russia. He was on loan at Huracan last season. Yeah, that's what I thought, Nacho, and that's not the only one.
Yeah, it's an awkward one. He never. I feel like he never had the chance to play. That's I think the only manager who gave him a good quantity of minutes was Becasese, and unfortunately he got injured. And after that, he really never had a chance again.
I thought he looked good at Huracan last season, but
I also think it's transfer that still has the Milita tag, and with all the politics going on, I have a feeling that getting rid of him it's also a kind of a statement.
you know, I think that's nonsense. As in, I think you're right. I think it's
Yeah.
nonsense.
No, I agree with you, but I just that's my I think that there is a bit of that as well.
Gonna rattle through a few. Alexis Soto gone to Defensa de Justicia, 484,000 euros. I think he had a good spell at the club. I think he was largely dependable, and now he's off to go and play his trade elsewhere.
Yeah, similar to Gutierrez, he was on loan and now permanent deal transfer to Defensa.
Fabrizio Dominguez is off to Argentinos Juniors on loan. Which again, I don't have heaps to say there.
Yeah, he got some minutes actually on Saturday for Argentinos. He was on the bench, came on for the last 10 minutes, I'm going to say.
Do we not have the Lualua clause of you can't
No,
play them?
I don't think it's I don't think you can put those clauses anymore. So it's more an agreement
really?
between the clubs, and I don't think it exists. There were before this season there's one player for Racing that belongs to Argentina, that is Galvan. So and Galvan was playing for Racing as well. So I'm sure there's no reciprocity there, and the reason why Faris Dominguez play was because the clubs decided not to agree on that, which I think is correct. I mean, I think it's a stupid rule.
Yeah. I think the reason for it is, what if he's a secret agent? What if he's a
conflict of interest.
Yeah, watch Chila Gomez let one through his legs or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel
Realistically, I don't think that's an issue, but
as a footballer, you play want to play. So
yeah, exactly. Speaking of Chile Gomez, he has gone to Beles. I think it's a loan, but transfer market seems to think it was permanent. I
it's on
thought it was
loan,
a
yeah.
loan for the team.
But there
Yeah,
is an option to buy him. So whether Vélez is going to execute that option, I don't know. No one knows because it's too early. But yeah, it's a loan. I think there's a charge for that
yeah,
loan. There's a fee.
188,000 euros.
Yeah, and then I think it's an option to buy him as well.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Chile. I hope he has a really good spell. I hope he plays very, very well and gets lots of minutes.
I
Because
don't think he has started. Yeah, I think he's on the bench because the Vélez starting the first option, the keeper is Buriam. So I don't think he has started any of the matches.
excellent. So
Yeah, not
gone
great.
from bench to bench.
It's another bench.
That's like he's still in my head he's still like the 20-year-old I saw debut, but he's like 26. He needs minutes. He needs to play.
Yeah, and I think he's 26, 27 already. Yeah.
Yeah. Neri Dominguez gone on a free to Universidad de Chile.
Yeah, that
That,
happened
that
in
was
the
that was
middle
a
of the
while ago.
season. Yeah, correct.
Eugenio Mena gone to Universidad Católica, former home of German Vobril and Luciano Oed.
Yeah, a nice farewell. He did really well, Mena, for us in his last match. He won one of those super cups that we play. So he retired with some glory, but what a servant. I think 5 years at the club, he was brilliant.
He was tremendous. He was awesome. Probably one of the first names on the sheet. I don't think that's too much to say. Like, really dependable. Again, played really well. Probably still do a job. Mauricio Martinez, he's gone to Liga de Quito in Ecuador. If you want to see the second best Copa Libertadores final ever, go and watch their 2008 win over Flamengo.
Fluminense.
Fluminense, sorry. Oh yeah, the green and the red with Bowser on the bench, and he's just in a jumper and his jeans. It's a penalty shootout. The current or former Ecuadorian sports minister in goal for Liga de Quito, and Bowser's just stone face. I don't care. I'm on it. Bowser. Ooh, ooh. And then as soon as that last, I think the penalty's saved and the Quito win and they go crazy, and he's just like, just starts bawling his eyes out. I'm just happy. I love Bowser. Bowser is one of my favorites. So anyway, Mauricio Martinez came in with was it ACL knee injury?
Yeah, and I think he left the club. It was basically a free transfer. His contract
Yeah.
expired, didn't
Yep.
renew it, signed for Liga de Quito. Probably a good financial deal for him. Ecuador is a league that I guess you can get a good contract, and
Yeah.
that might be the main reason why he opted for the Ecuadorian league.
Yeah, but big club as well. Big club in Ecuador.
Oh yeah, and he will play continental competitions as well.
Yeah. Just kind of never did it. He worked hard, but just
Yeah, and another of those players who got criticized a lot on social media.
yeah.
And I know social media sometimes amplify the critics, but yeah, I think he never found his place in the club, in the team.
Yeah.
Gago gave him a few opportunities, and I think when he was improving, unfortunately, he did his ACL. But a player that probably didn't have a great spell at the club overall.
Ezekiel Scalotto on a free transfer to Aldosivi.
Free agent, yeah.
Yeah, free agent, free acquisition by Aldosivi.
Probably the worst signing I've seen in a long time for Racing.
Who was that centre midfielder that I liked because he looked really cool?
Bismara. Well, Bismara was probably, yeah, I guess Bismara was the worst signing for the
He,
last 10 years. But I think the Schelotto one,
he came in
I,
because he
I,
came from Brighton in the Premier League. He's
yeah,
hype.
but I watch Premier League a lot. I had the opportunity to saw Schelotto playing a couple of times uh, in Wembley, at Wembley, sorry. And I don't think he was a good player. And we signed him too late
Yeah,
in his career.
too
Um,
many injury again.
and then
Injuries.
he, and then he had a lot of injuries, including I
Yeah.
think an ACL. So that was it.
Because he was released or his contract expired, and then he came
He
back for
hardly
another.
played.
Yeah,
I'm going to probably no more than 7 games. I
yeah.
don't think he played more than 7 games.
Lucas Orban currently without a club. His contract ended. He was released.
Free agent. Yeah.
I just don't get it. I just don't understand. He should be better. He's just
Yeah, I think he didn't do well. He played a couple of matches last season. The last one I remember against Talleres, he didn't do well. I think the
no.
decision of not renewing his contract kind of makes sense.
It makes sense.
Uh,
I
yeah,
just, I don't know. I always thought that he just give him once he gets a run, gets a bit more confidence, and because there's a player though. There at least was a player in there. Maxi Romero, PSV question mark. What's this about?
no, he's still part of the squad. He's on loan from PSV.
Oh,
PSV.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
that's
Eindhoven. Yeah.
transfer mark having a weird one. They do that. Now the final one of the medium news. Ayman Sisha apparently still plays football for Orenburg in Russia.
Yeah. Wow. Is
Yeah.
he still a Racing player or it was a permanent
I think
transfer?
he is now gone.
Okay. He was on never-ending loans. Everywhere. Literally
Like
everywhere.
everywhere. Okay, we've buried the lead, but it's just I don't know. If you want a little bit of a deep, run through the roster, who's gone? What happened to Nery Dominguez? Now you know. Now, two big transfers. The first one, I was not happy with. I was moaning in the group chat. Yes, it's good money. No, it's not a good decision. From a football and fan point of view, whatever, I don't care. Enzo Copetti, €6 million to Charlotte in the MLS. Good luck to the lad. Where he's come from to where he's gone, that is fantastic.
Yeah, a
Because
good
I know
business. But a
I
good,
wasn't his biggest fan when he first joined.
no, me neither. But he did well, especially under
He
Gago. And
grew,
this is one of the players that Gago massively helped to
yeah,
recover and to improve. So if we monetize those 6 millions or whatever it was the fee, uh, credit to the manager, credit to the player, of course, but
yeah,
credit to the manager.
yeah. He just grew and grew and grew, and then became such an important player that you always had. Because when he first came in, he was a bit one trick pony. He was just this like massive bull in a china shop who kind
Yeah.
of couldn't score, but got about a bit, looked angry, and he became a really, really effective, really efficient player. And that's why he's got the big money move. So good luck to him.
Yeah, but I agree with you. A move is, of course, financially has to be good, but a sale is good if you a sale is good if you have a replacement lineup,
Yeah.
and we haven't yet, or it doesn't look like that. So time will tell, but whether Guerrero is the right replacement. But at the moment, I think we haven't replaced Copeti's goals, and that's a problem. That could be a problem.
More on that in a moment. And the other one, slightly bigger news, especially for us, especially for you, who gets down to Spurs. Are you still getting down to Spurs?
Sometimes I went to see Brighton Liverpool just to watch different football. I don't go to Spurs that much. I think it's extortion prices.
What are you doing on Sunday? We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
Carlos Alcaraz has joined Southampton for €13.65 million, which is nowhere near what they should be paying for him. They should be paying 50 million euros at least. Just pay all the money. But what a steal they've got! What a player they've got, and what a great bit of business for Racing.
I think Racing is also retaining a percentage of the difference between if there is a future sale, the
Oh,
difference that like the difference between the second sale price and the first one, then Racing will receive a percentage of that. So imagine what was the
so
fee
do
here?
they get a percentage sell on?
It's a percentage of the amount that exceeds the initial price basically. So I can't
Okay.
remember what the fee was. So if the fee was 13 million, imagine we sell it for 20. If Southampton sell it for 20, I think a percentage of that 7 million gap will go to Racing. I think it's 10% or
Hmm,
20%, something like that.
that makes sense. That's well structured. Protects Southampton to an extent. That's good.
Yeah.
Sensible.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think it's a good
yeah.
club for him. Southampton is a club that, although they're probably might get relegated, which is not great news for him. It's a club that always plays young players. They have a good history behind developing players. So if you want to go to the Premier League, Southampton is probably a good place to develop as a player.
Yeah. And they're a club that also back their managers. They might sack the rest of the staff, but they'll back their managers, and
Yeah, and he's
they do
only
things
20 years
the
old.
right way.
Yeah, and Alcaraz
Yeah.
is only 20 years old. So a lot of talent, a lot of work to do to keep developing as a player. Probably at the right place.
Yeah. Gareth Bale, Wales's greatest ever footballer,
Sounds
arguably
sounds
Britain's.
yeah,
Yeah. Came through
good
at
golf player.
Southampton. Hey?
Good golf player apparently
Golf
at the
player.
moment.
Great golf player. Famously, really good golf down in Hampshire, which is the county Southampton is in. Um, who else came? Theo Walcott. Remember him?
Yeah,
Southampton.
no, it's definitely a good place to be for Alcaraz. I'm optimistic. Hopefully, if they avoid relegation, that would be ideal
Yeah.
because he will get a full preseason and a full first season in the Premier League. That's what we want to see as Racing fans.
And a nice part of the country. Brighton, I don't think it's
Yeah,
too.
you
Is
you
Brighton
get
far
nice
away?
nice weather. It's 2 hour from London, pretty much on a train, a little
Yeah.
bit more. On the coast. Yeah, quite nice.
Yeah.
You can go to
Nice.
the Isle of Wight from there, which is a really nice place as well.
Go to Isle of Wight gym. I forget what it's called. Okay, signings. Some signing news. The big going in with the big news. Hector Fertoli, his loan at Teixeira's the quarter ended. So yay for Hector. Um,
Yeah,
Nicholas Reinero. I
he's
didn't realize
back.
we still owned him. He's back on loan as his loan at Argentinos ended. He is not a footballer I'm a big fan of, but
No, I mean, I had a lot of hopes when he was signed by the Milito administration or the Milito technical team.
oh, he was a
Um,
Melito signing.
he's,
Oh,
I mean, he's the probably the last one in the squad. I can think of probably Sigali, Arias, Rojas, and Reniero, and Miranda. Those are all the Milito signings that still remain at the club. Um, Probably of all those names I just mentioned, Reniero is the one that never worked
no.
at Racing or on loan. Let's see, but we mentioned that there wasn't a replacement lineup for Copetti, and Reniero looks like a bit of an improvised plan.
Yeah, I completely agree. Jonathan Gomez, the loan move is now permanent. It's in the region of 400k euros. Brilliant bit of business for me. I love it. I think he's a really. I enjoy watching him play. He's a bit workmanlike, but I enjoy what he brings to the
Yeah,
team.
I think he has been that player coming off the bench, which gives you a little bit of more energy. He's very direct. He's good, especially when he comes off. I prefer him for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I think he
I agree.
normally put an extra shift in midfield. His energy, his dribbling is quite good. Yeah, very skillful player. As I say, sometimes when he plays 90 minutes, the consistency could be a problem, but when he's in the last 30 minutes, he's very influential. I like him.
Bum, bum, bum. Any other ones that are jumping out that we just need to cover quickly? Jonathan Galvan on loan from Argentinos Juniors, 150k
The
euros.
penalty man. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure about Galvan. I think he had a few good matches and um, not that good matches. I'm not going to talk about the penalty because penalty is just a circumstance in a game. He was good on Saturday, by the way. I'm not 100% convinced about him, but he can be effective in certain roles, I think.
Juan Ignacio Nardoni has been signed on a huge 5.7 million euros from Union de Santa Fe.
Yeah,
I,
looks to me
I
as
feel
similar
like he
to
was
an
good
Aníbal
at
Moreno,
Union.
right? Yeah,
Say again.
a similar kind of strategy for when we sign Aníbal Moreno. He's a young player with some reputation as a young player, probably
Hmm.
Racing paying quite a big fee for
That's a big fee. I mean,
his
that's
experience.
all of the Copetti money gone, basically.
But I rather see those signings um, than other type of signings where we just sign because it's a good opportunity, because it's cheap, because it's out of contract, where there's no that you can see there's no work behind. I think on Nardoni and Aníbal Moreno, you are buying a project, and if it goes well, you you probably do good business as well. Plus, you get a good player.
He did. I didn't see heaps of him last year. I didn't see heaps of Union, but when looked all right. Looked
Yeah, it
good.
looks like a box-to-box midfielder who likes to
Yeah.
get into the penalty box, but without the ball. So it's the classic midfielder who will get into scoring positions. Although his scoring record is not great, but I can see there's interesting things in his game. I think still needs to develop.
Is he a bit like Fred,
Which Fred? Freddie, the Brazilian
Manchester United
Man
Fred?
United.
Yeah.
No, I think it's more attacking actually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
So he's McSauce. He's McTominay. Got you.
yeah, exactly. This
Ah,
Scottish lad.
I got my new favorite player. Great. Gabriel Rojas has joined from Querétaro FC in Mexico. 2.3 million euros. Left back makes sense. We need a left back, and we got
We
one.
need we need we need a left back after Mena departure. But
We could
I
do with a
have
right back as well.
I honestly haven't seen enough of Rojas. So let's go and see what happens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a price tag, but comes from a good league, so fingers crossed.
I've, yeah, the price tag raised some yeah eyebrows. You say you raise
Yeah,
some eyebrows, yeah, because his contract was expiring in 6 months, so quite a high fee for a player that was going to be out of contract in June, July.
so Arsenal fans have been saying, who did Arsenal just sign from Chelsea? Jorginho.
Yeah,
Yeah. Arsenal fans are like, oh, we've spent so much on Jorginho, we could have got him free in 6 months' time. Well, in 6 months' time, you're not battling for a championship. So if he
No, and
helps you,
also
if
you
he's a player
compete.
that helps you now,
Yeah,
then
yeah, but it's a player that if you, I'm talking about Rojas, no Jorginho.
yeah.
Rojas' price market kind of valuation was around 1.5 million American dollars, and we paid 2.5. It
Okay.
looks, I mean, I'm not an expert on the area. I just look at transfer market
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
valuation. But I mean, those websites normally don't get it that wrong,
They're
right?
usually pretty
So
good.
yeah, so it's an awkward fee, high fee for a
Okay.
player whose contract was expiring pretty soon.
Okay. More fullbacks. We have a right back, Oscar Rapazzo, come from Colo Colo in Chile. Finally, some competition for Ivan Pichud.
We'll get into
Catalan
Pichu's
core.
performance, but I think we need a right back. That's what I say. I'm not
We've
sure
been,
whether Opaso is the
yeah,
right person. I haven't seen enough of him.
We'll
He
see.
has good decent pedigree. I mean, playing for Colo Colo for a long time,
Yeah. Yeah.
international for Chile. But we need to see him, and the fact that Gago hasn't picked him the first two matches, uh, it is very unusual.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's seen something. I think this is the second to last one. Paulo Guerrero, Avaí FC from Brazil, free transfer, two Bundesliga, two German Cup, the DFB Pokal, I think it's called, the Club World Cup, the Brazilian League. He's old and he's injured. And he's a centre forward, and I am halfway between very excited because this is a player with a heck of a pedigree, like
It's
Bayern
he
Munich,
used to be a hell
Frankfurt,
of a player, right?
but Peruvian international.
Yeah, fantastic striker with an amazing career in Germany.
Yeah.
As an international for Peru, he has been immense. But like one of the probably best South American strikers for the last 20 years, 15 years. But he's 39.
39 years old.
So
I,
I
I
don't
think he's
know.
old. Does that make him older than Licha Lopez?
I think he's probably on the same kind of range. It's there's a massive question mark next to that signing. Whether we are signing goals and trying to replace Copetti, that's probably the reason behind this signing. Uh, whether it's just an opportunity, I guess it is.
Is he
Cheap,
older than Gago?
and probably not. Probably not.
I'm googling this. I can't remember how old
I'm
Gago
gonna
is.
say, yeah,
You're
Gago
saying
might be
no.
younger than me actually.
I say yes. I say Gago is
Oh yeah, he is younger than Gago.
Gago is
Exactly, Gago is
36.
younger than Gago, 3 years younger than Gago. Yeah,
It's really cool. I think it's
yeah.
a really cool signing. I have no idea if it's going to work, but I think it's fun stuff. It's fun.
It's
Hopefully,
a
it's not too
quality
much money.
player. I I I think that I can see the way Gago plays. He needs strikers pressing high. I mean, that's why Copetti was so good for Racing because his work rate as a striker in the high pressing was fantastic. I cannot see a 39-year-old striker doing the same job. But it's maybe I'm being too pessimistic here.
Maybe. I mean, listen, we saw what Leacher did. At not quite 39, but
Yeah, and I think there's a reason why he left as well. And the reason why he left is because Gago was
he
having
wanted to,
different plans. Yeah,
he wanted to go and live closer to his mum.
yeah. As
That's the
well,
reason.
yeah, they probably agree on that, but
Yeah.
I I would say he wasn't the striker for Gago either.
And finally, Maxi Morales from New York City. The boy has come home. Free transfer, attacking midfielder, can play on both wings.
And
Now
is
he's
currently playing as a centre mid, so on the left of Moreno.
oh,
So he's replacing who played there last season, Alcaraz,
mhm.
and as well who plays well on that position. Probably
Rojas.
Gomez play on that position as well a little
Okay.
bit. Um, uh, yeah, I think it could be a good signing. I mean, he's 35, but he played well against Boca, very well against Boca. I'm going to say. Made an assist, a really nice assist to Carbonero. But he didn't play well the first two fixtures, so
Right.
we'll see. He to be fair with him, he got replaced after 35 minutes because Cáceres got sent off. But we'll get into that.
He's certainly he's a bit before my time. He left late
2007,
2000s.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
2006, 2007.
Oh wow.
Um,
So yeah, really early. So yeah, way before my time.
well, he scored that goal that basically allowed us to avoid the relegation because Racing was playing the kind of the relegation play of the promotion against Belgrano. And Morales scored that goal that we will always remember. He left us, unfortunately, he went as a free agent to Vélez, or I think he was on loan at Racing and he didn't renew it.
Was it Belgrano who relegated River?
2 years after that, or oh
Yeah.
no, no, sorry, three
So
probably, a little bit
five,
more. Yeah,
three.
three, four more,
Yeah.
three. Yeah, yeah. 2010, I'm going to say.
I was in university.
Yeah, 2010
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah. I remember watching them play bloody
It,
Boca
it,
Unidos.
it was a similar team. There were a few players that got promoted after beating River that lost to Racing 3 years before
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Matias Suarez, by the way, you might remember him,
The name
the
rings a
River
bell.
striker. River striker. He was on that team.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that, like, so Belgrano, like, to me, in my head, Barnsley are a Premier League football team, or should be, because my first
And
year,
Belgrano should be as well.
in my first year of watching Premier League as a kid, Barnsley, they were on FIFA 98 or whatever, they played in the Premier League. So Barnsley, they're like, oh yeah, they should be there. Derby County, Belgrano. They're
Well,
like
they are
Primera
back.
Division.
They are back,
And they're
Belgrano,
back.
and they're doing well. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the game. So we've had our rundown. Our hot 45, we're going to miss that by a bit, and I do apologize, Nacho. But like I said, I think it's important to just sort of go through the club, go through the players, see where we're at, who's in, who is out. Okay, let's get to the first one. Boca 1, Racing 2. This is the second of the random trophies that we tore from their mitts. It started off in the 17th minute. Facundo Roncaglia goal for Boca Juniors. I cannot remember it at all. I assume it wasn't very good.
It was a set piece, and I think
I do remember.
a set piece. I can't remember which Boca striker got kind of header in the near post, flick it basically,
Mm.
And Roncaglia arriving on the far post, he just absolutely smashed it. He just absolutely
Absolutely
smashed
leathered it in. I
it.
may or may not have been in a meeting at the time. Yeah, absolutely just tried to burst the ball through the back of the net.
Yeah.
3 minutes that lead lasted. Johan Carbonero with the equalizer. Nacho, what is your
Yeah, lovely
recollection?
pass from Morales, pass between the lines from Morales and
Oh, yeah.
Carbonero. He probably best player at the moment for Racing, Carbonero, together with Aníbal Moreno. Very nice finish, very nice run. Yeah, nice goal.
Really composed, really composed, finished. Like, he takes a look at where the ball's coming from, times his run
Yeah,
well.
good control, good run, good control, nice first touch, and then solid finish.
I mean, when he's got a pair of jogging bottoms sprinting at him, he still slots it. He doesn't get distracted.
Exactly.
It does. Listen. I really don't like Boca Juniors. I don't know why. I just really dislike them. Like, I'm never going to use the H word, but I just don't like the football club. I think it's because of one of the Barascolottos, or maybe both of them.
I think
And
it's because of that from
it's
the
that
Barros
game, isn't
Beschelotto
it?
years.
It's bloody crying. Anyway, whatever. I love Javi Garcia.
Yeah, he got a good match against Racing actually.
He played really well, and the fact that he gets to captain the club that he grew up loving, it just pulls on the heartstrings, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think Javi Garcia, I mean, he did a good job at Racing.
He was-
Remember when we won the league, that Codet team, Arias got injured and Garcia had to step up. And I
Yeah.
think he probably played, I'm going to say 4 or 5 matches.
Yeah, he closed
And
out.
he was quite important, actually.
Well, I mean, and
Uh,
of course the Independiente game with 9 players and the
and then
banana.
the season after, he was the, the star man in the in the match that we won with 9 players. So he he did amazing for the club as a substitute keeper because he was there as a backup keeper.
Yeah.
He did well, and he when he had to step up and deliver, he delivered. So
Yeah.
I think he will always get recognized at the club. I have the feeling it's one of those figures that we will not love. He's not a hero, but he will be well respected.
Yeah, he's absolutely that for me. I've got a real soft spot in for me. I love goalkeepers. I am a goalkeeper at the sport I play.
And also, he
Um,
wears um, long trousers. Like how do you say?
Jurgen Bottoms. Who was that? Who was the Argentine keeper who used to play for Crystal Palace?
Speroni.
That's the one. Also, a prolific jogging bottoms wearer.
Joking.
Before we get to the final bit of this game, this is I really like a lot of the players in this Boca team. I've always loved Louis Advincula. Louis? I want to call him Louis. I'm going to call him
Luis.
Luis Advincula. From his days at Newell's and Rayo Vallecano, and of course Paul Fernandez. Just
Yeah, another
he's still
player that
so good.
it will get always full respect from Racing fans. He was amazing at the club, and I think Racing tried to sign him a couple of times. It's just too expensive. But yeah, it's one of those players who does everything right. His quality and his right foot is unbelievable. I have a soft touch for Paul as well.
Yeah, he's just again like you saw it in this game. His passing is still so good.
Such a tidy player. Yeah, I agree. It's very tidy the way he plays, right? It's everything is the right pass, everything is the right decision, never rushing. Yeah.
I hate that he plays for Boca. And then in the 98th minute, Gonzalo Piovi from the penalty spot after what felt like about 15 minutes of shenanigans and argument from the Boca players. Fair enough. And a VAR check. Piovi, good finish from the penalty spot.
Yeah.
Deserved win.
Yeah, and there was a lot of comments because Piovi was one of those players who tried to claim the penalty that Galvan ended up missing against River. I'm sorry, I'm going back all the time to that. So it felt a little bit kind of everyone was happy because Racing winning this trophy, but also it felt a little bit like with that we missed an opportunity because Piovi should have taken the penalty against River. But I mean, it's just silly narrative, right? But yeah, well taken penalty. I think Piovi will be in charge of penalties going forward together with Rojas.
Yeah, I mean he took it very well. I was quite unwell during this week during the game, so my memory is completely gone. There was a very traumatic walk to Tesco's after the game, but I can't remember what was it. No, was it Carbonero? No, Carbonero was off the pitch by that point. Who won the penalty?
I can't remember. Maybe Auche. I don't know.
Oh, I think you might be right.
I can't remember.
But yeah, a penalty was won. A player was fouled. It was it was a handball.
It's a handball. Yeah.
Handball. It was that.
Who crossed it? I cannot remember.
I think Houche. I think it was Houche.
I think it was Auche, but I'm not sure.
It's one of those where, unless it happens to Racing, I think it's the worst decision in the world, and then it happens to Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the law is impossible to interpret. So I have sympathy for the referees. I try not to celebrate too much when you get that penalty because you will get one against you at any moment. Yeah.
Honestly, some of the penalties that were given in the league last season were absurd, and the referees are making the correct decision every time by the law. The law is a completely nonsense thing. But hey ho, Kirtsev Ole. No, yes.
No, Pichot lifting the second trophy in the space of 3 months.
Considering I'm going to say it, I'm going to tell the story. He was derided by the fans. He was told he could leave the club. He was left out of the squad, and look at him now. Multiple trophies.
We'll get into that. we'll get into that. Just give me 5 minutes
One
that
of,
we talk
one
about
of
Argentina's match.
one of the longest serving player, the longest serving player at the club. He must be in the conversation for like longest serving player in like the last 50 years, surely.
Yeah, not in terms of quantity of matches. I
No, but in
don't really
terms of
know.
like
Yeah, but in terms of
tenure,
years at the club, he has
yeah,
been there. I don't know for how long.
12 years now,
I
maybe.
think he was on loan
Was it
one season,
Verona
right?
for one
Yeah,
season? Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, it's I it
yeah.
uh
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
he's from he's he was an integral part of like my favorite Racing squad like 7 years ago, and even 7 years ago or 8 years ago, wherever people were like, "Is it time that we, They weren't able to displace him. I don't know what to tell you. All right, Racing nil, Belgrano nil. Ball draw. Well, I don't know about that. Racing had plenty of chances. How many shots? 14 shots,
Yeah.
two on target. That is not a very good conversion rate.
No, I mean, we should have won. We didn't, but it wasn't a good performance. And I think definitely they rushed too much in midfield. I think the passing wasn't um, good enough, and we gave the ball away too much. I think Belgrano actually found themselves in a comfortable position in the second half, and we ended up playing the match Belgrano wanted to play. Um, but if you look at chances, if you look at XG, that is the way to measure now the the outcome of a game, or the outcome that should have been the outcome, basically. Um, yeah, we totally deserve the 3 points. I think Belgrano got more what they deserved, but Racing wasn't sharp enough.
I'm just looking at the formation, and I'm seeing a 5-4-1 from Belgrano. I'm seeing a team that's difficult to break down, and I'm now like, oh no, are we back to this? Have we fallen back to we can't break a team down?
No, I don't think so. I think
No.
we might need to find a way to replace Copetti's goals. I think if you create chances, I don't think the problem is to break a team down. I think the problem is to put it in the back of the net. I would be more concerned if you don't create chances. I think I think there's two different problems. I think Racing should be okay in terms of creating chances, breaking team downs. Um, the problem is probably the final product.
You want to worry about creating chances, Nacho?
Yes.
We move. Was there anything else that we can say
No,
about this
no,
game?
no. Happy to move on.
Argentinos Juniors 1, Racing Club De Avellaneda nil. We've been bested by Gabi Milito and his red and white, mainly red, army. The story of the game. What do we got? We got Juan Cáceres, red card for a yellow card on the edge of the area. That was later upgraded by VAR. Nacho,
Yeah.
have they released the VAR chat?
Oh, I I haven't seen it. Maybe I don't know.
I
Not
don't.
as
I
far
know
as I know.
CONMEBOL do that. I don't think the AFA do.
No, I don't think AFA has done that yet. But look, difficult to argue against that red card. The player it's kind of doing yeah, it's a silly tackle, a little bit out of control if you look
Mm,
how he extended his leg. I know that he caught Cabral in the kind of follow through,
hmm
but he didn't get the ball either, so there's no
Yeah,
follow through, right? If you don't get
and
the
it.
ball, it's just a
I mean,
tackle.
yeah. I mean,
It's a missed tackle basically.
if
So
you even if you get the ball and you still clatter the man,
yeah, so when you go with the stats like that, and you catch the player, then especially if it's a sliding tackle. So it's a terrible combination, right? Stats, sliding tackle, you don't get the ball. even if he didn't mean it, because I don't think Cáceres meant it. I think he actually tried to play the ball.
Yeah.
Um, it is a red card. It's yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
fair call. I think it's a silly action from the defender. I think like like defenders need to know now that that VAR is a thing, right? And they need to adapt and they need to be careful with these tackles, especially
Yeah.
in irrelevant parts of the pitch.
Yeah.
Um, so when you go on a sliding tackle, you need to be really careful now. And and Cáceres wasn't careful, so it is what it is.
um. So even before the red, I thought Argentinos looked good. Um, Gabi Arias, as the kids like to say, is a joke. He's still so good.
Yeah, I think he's the best keeper in the league at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
He came back from his ACL injury even better than before. Like his level is
He's
absolutely
not missed.
ridiculous.
I was really worried. He's not missed a step. It's ridiculous.
It's
He's
absolutely
amazing.
ridiculous. And he did really well. And the reason why we only lost by 1 goal is because Arias had a great night. Um, I think Racing were good the first 10 minutes. I think after that, Argentinos, without playing great football, I think they pressed really high and Racing really struggled to play out from the back.
I think
Um,
from what I saw, Argentinos definitely had the better of the better chances.
yeah, especially after 35 minutes when
Yeah,
Cáceres' car got upgraded. That was it. Racing, it's a team that really struggled when we don't have the ball, right? I think Gago needs to work on this. Um, because the team only knows to play one way, which is having possession, moving the ball around, um, and the match needed something different. Gago I think the interpretation was the right one. He took off Morales and put 2 lines of 4 plus a striker. But I think he left Pichut too exposed. I think Rojas wasn't tracking back and left Pichut 1-on-1 against Cabral, Argentina's best player. And I don't think Pichu is a player that can play 1-on-1. I think he's too slow. I think he's too old for that. And he got again and again beaten by Cabral, and in one of those Cabral scored basically. Is it Pichu's fault? Probably no. It's really difficult to defend 1-on-1. Could he have done better? I would argue yes. But we have a problem, and it's on the fullback position, basically on the right fullback position.
so Rodrigo. Well, I mean, it doesn't help that the right fullback got sent off after 35 minutes.
Say?
It doesn't help that the right fullback got sent off after 35
Exactly, and
minutes.
Pichu came instead of Morales to play as a right fullback, and neither Cáceres or Pichu actually had a great match because Cáceres also had problems with Cabral
And
um,
he also got sent off.
and got sent off. So we have a problem in that part of the pitch. Maybe Opaso is a right player, who knows? But
I mean,
I know,
Opaso,
Pi-
he was on the bench. Like, that's a.
yeah, and I know you like Pichu, but I honestly think he was a problem against Belgrano, a different problem. He was attacking wise. I think he wasn't given the right option to Rojas. Rojas cutting inside. He should never making that run, overlapping run.
Hmm.
So attacking wise, I think he's too slow. I don't think his crosses are good enough. Defensive wise, when he's 1-on-1, I think he's a player that leaves the defense and that right flank side completely exposed. And we saw that the other day. So if you have a fullback that struggles 1-on-1 defending and it's not a good attacking option, you don't, you don't really have a fullback. That's my point.
I'm interested to see what Opaso does because, with Peugeot, the man has been. I'm going to use the L word. He's been a legend for the club. He really has. Like, you
Oh,
can't say that.
I don't argue
Really?
his status at the club.
No,
I completely agree
I
with you.
think genuinely, I think you give him a job, you keep him around the club, put him in a coach, whatever. I don't know. You keep hold of him at an institutional level
Yeah.
because I think he deserves. I think he deserves. I think he's earned that. But yeah, he for the 5th year in a row should not be your number one option.
Oh,
And it's
I
looking like
don't think it can be your second option.
And now it's looking like he can't be, as I was getting to, your second option. So I'm interested. I assume Opazzo has to start the next game, which is on Monday night or Sunday evening.
Sunday evening. Yeah. There were questions about Opaso. Apparently, the rumor is, I never know if this is true or not. That Gago is very strict with players' discipline, especially
Yeah.
on their weight, and they have a
Oh
specific
no,
target,
not
and if
another
they miss
one.
that target, they don't get any minutes. Um,
Just beneath
but
him on the list, by the way, Edwin Cardona.
yeah, who
Yeah.
who apparently is now hitting the target.
Oh, good.
Yeah, apparently he lost a lot of weight. But I also think that that might not be the only problem for Opaso, because Gago has a very strict policy, and when you don't meet that target, you are out. You are not on the bench. And Opaso was on the bench, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there's another problem. Maybe Gago is not convinced about Opaso. I don't know.
I mean, it's a pretty weird one.
It is.
We still have Emiliano Insua.
Yes, as a centre back.
Yeah. It's weird he played for Liverpool. Ben's mad. So goal, really well taken shot from a fair distance, I think, from Rodrigo Cabral. He was outside the area. As Nacho.
Yeah, it was a
There he-
great finish. Absolutely fantastic finish. But we kind of
Way too
felt
much space.
the goal was coming, right? Like Arias was putting save after save, so it was a matter of time.
And to give a slither of hope at the end, Santiago Gabriel Montiel, red card for Argentinos Juniors in 90th minute, and then the final whistle.
Do you want to fact about Montiel?
I would love a fact.
It's the cousin of the guy who gave Argentina the World Cup with the penalty. It's Gonzalo Montiel cousin, basically.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, he's a River Academy, same as Gonzalo Montiel, but
Okay.
I think he was allowed to go. River didn't want him. He's already 22. He's not that young, and he made his debut the other day and got a red card. So.
Strong start.
But a name that probably all the Argentinian people will always remember, Gonzalo Montiel.
Santiago Gabriel Montiel is well, we'll see how he goes.
Yeah.
Could be a late bloomer, late starter.
Yeah.
They exist. They have happened before.
But yeah, I mean, not too much to say about the match. Apart from hopefully we can change the things around on Sunday. We can get the first win of the season, and take that as a turning point. Last season started also a bit slow for Gago.
It did.
I think we drew against Gimnasia and we drew against Defensa y Justicia without a very convincing performances. And it was only in the third match.
Ugly.
Yeah, and it was only in the third match at home against Argentinos where the kind of idea started to glue a little bit. So early days, and I think we need to rely on a manager who last season, let's say, got it right.
One kick. It was one kick of the ball away from the league.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Next up, Racing Tigre, another proper Primera club. I mean, that for me again, they're a proper
tough
Tigre.
match.
They're
tough
in
match.
the Burnley. Yeah, no, 100%.
Tough match, but more open, right? It will be a team that will plays really attractive football. Have a manager that I think is probably my favorite manager in the first division. In the Primera División, I think that I would love to see him replacing Gago if Gago goes one day.
Who's Tigre's manager?
Martinez. He has done a
Oh,
fantastic job at Tigre. Absolutely fantastic job. They got promoted with him, and last season I think it was one of my favorite teams. They play really good football, um, and the work that he's been doing with some young players such as Eki Fernandez now is with Boca. Went back to Boca. Yeah, it's a great manager. I think it's someone who will leave Tigre soon, probably. Hopefully, as I say, Racing recruit him because I it's one of my favorite managers.
a quick look at the table. Tigre, just whilst we're on them, coming away with a 2-2 draw against Rosario Central
Yeah,
last
last minute,
Friday.
last minute draw. They
Yeah,
should have got the 3 points. A bit unlucky.
Masho with the goal. Masho? Have I read that correctly? Yeah, Masho.
Yeah.
Uh, whoa, hang on. Miguel Angel Russo. It charged over.
Yes.
Where's Carlito?
Yeah. Uh, Tevez left after the end of last season. Um, but there was a few changes at the club, so there's a new president. So I guess that explains
Yeah,
why.
that might do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. Interesting times ahead. And I haven't. Oh, he's quite young, Martin. He's only 44. We should probably look ahead to week Fetcher Quattro. Who do we got?
I don't know. I will need to
Are they
check.
back or did
You
they never go away? Arsenal, the Sarandi
in at Sarandi, basically.
at Sarandi.
Yeah.
Did they
Okay.
get relegated? How are they still? How are they here? Explain.
They yeah, I think they just avoided relegation last year.
They must have done, yeah.
Um, I think I haven't checked where they are now in the
They are
Promedios,
they are
but
bottom. They have
I,
one
I
per
yeah,
game.
I think they are not in a great position at the moment.
Oh no.
But it's early in the season. And
Yeah,
remember, this year there's two relegations that are based on the Promedios table, and one relegation that is on
annual
the
table.
annual table. So a bit of a
Currently, that
mix.
the team currently in 28th. For what it matters, nothing right now in the annual table is Gimnasia y Esgrima La Plata.
Oh, did
We're
they lose to Defensa y Justicia today then?
did they lose to Defensa de
They were
Justicia?
nail when we
They
started
lost
the.
2-0.
Oh, they lost
Solari
2-0.
and Fernandez.
Um,
Which Fernandez is that? Nicholas Fernandez.
uh, it's probably Nico Fernandez. It's the third
Is
brother, the youngest one.
um. So are they finally getting rid of Promedios, sorry, in 2024?
Um, uh, no one knows. It looks like they are slowly transitioning
It
to
looks like it.
a non-promedios, non-average point system.
Per my
Um,
favorite website, Promiedos, it says, así arrancaría hoy la próxima temporada. Habría una solo descenso por Promiedos.
okay,
Promedios.
so it looks like they're shifting and they're going to change basically two in the annual table, one in promedios, and then the following
And
year it
then
will be three
3.
annual table. Yeah.
Perfect.
Um,
Good. It should have happened about 20 years ago.
yeah, I mean, I'm not against the promedio. I think promedio is a different criteria. But yeah, I think yeah, I'm happy either way. I'm Yeah, I prefer the annual table, but I think it's just a different criteria, and the promedio will assess something. It's like, well, if you are good enough for 2 years, then you're safe. Uh,
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a traditional system in other leagues, but I don't think it's a bad system. Um, yeah, there's nothing against that. I prefer the annual one, but I'm not terrible. I'm not
Yeah.
an enemy of the promedios. Yeah,
You're not an enemy of the
no, no, no,
Promedios. Interesting.
no.
Will Promiedos need to change their website
They
name
will
to
need
like
to rebrand.
Anualos or Anualeros? Something. Oh no.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, that's going to do it. I rate my reading of Spanish accents. I'm sure it was
Oh no, 10 out of 10.
fairly 10 out of 10. This
10 out of
guy,
10.
far too complimentary. All right.
No.
That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've joined us live, thank you so much if you've listened back on either Facebook or YouTube. Those are only two avenues. We're away. We're not doing audio at this time. We might look at that in the future as another avenue outlet. But yeah, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Racing Club UK. And Instagram. Nacho is the absolute wizard of social media with all of that. So make sure that you follow us there. And if you want to, if you're based anywhere in the UK, I mean, technically you are filial Londres. I don't live in London.
It's only filial in the UK, so although we are officially filial London or Londres, we welcome any Racing fans living in the UK.
Anyone in the UK or Iceland as well would accept you.
We welcome anyone.
Yeah. So if you are interested, if you want to get involved, if you want to join the group chat's great. It's just really positive, really nice, and yeah. Find some Argentines in the UK, in your area, who love the greatest football team the world has ever seen.
Darren,
All right.
a strong, just a reminder, please join the Twitter account because our account was unfairly suspended, so we had to restart it
Yes.
a while ago. I still don't know why we got our. If there is an account that wasn't hating anyone, was our account, but I just don't know.
We were like, hey,
We're the
listen, I don't want
nicest guys on
I don't want to
Twitter.
throw shade at some other English language club accounts, but they were spreading some business.
Yeah,
And
we
were just
were the
like,
nicest
hey.
guys, and we got banned. I don't know why.
It was, yeah, that was frustrating. So yeah, anyway, please follow Racing Club UK on Twitter. We're going to be more active. Hey, listen, the more followers, the more active. You know how that works. All right, that's going to do it. Nacho,
Thank you very much, Adam.
thank you as always, my friend.
Nice to be
and
back,
thank you
and
all.
nice to see you.
Oh, it's so good to be back. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for more of the Racing Club UK podcast. Enjoy the tunes.
Go as a state of mind.